This week we are going to do a personality assessment, and I'm going to show you how to score that because it can be a little tricky. So over here we have the personality assessment, and what you're going to do is you're going to rate yourself. So I see myself as someone who is talkative, right? You're going to strongly agree over here, which is a 5, or strongly disagree. Let's say you strongly agree, so you put a 5 in there, so is talkative. Okay, once you complete the whole thing, right, then you're going to go to tends to find fault with others, does a thorough job, right? You're going to go through this whole thing. Once it's completed, you're going to go over to this score sheet, and then you're going to see for number 1 is, you're going to go to number 1, and let's say you put a 5 in there, so you're going to put a 5 right here for number 1, right? And then for number 2, for agreeableness, tends to find fault with others, right? Let's say you put a 4 there, so you kind of agree with that. You do tend to find fault with others. Well, you're going to see this R right here, and this is where the scoring gets tricky. So that means it's a reverse question. And so if you come up here, the R means you're going to do reverse scoring. So if you put a 4 here for number 2, you're going to turn that 4 into a 2 for scoring, if that makes sense. So again, you rated yourself as agree a little with tends to find fault with others. And then when you go over here, since you put a 4 in, but it's a reverse, you're going to enter a 2. Because again, it's just a reverse question. So you'll put a 2 in for that one, right? Let's go back up to number 1. So again, we put a 5 here. There's no R here, so we put a normal 5. Let's say if we get down to number 6, and let's say the question is reserved, right? So I see myself as someone who is reserved. Let's say you strongly disagree with that. You're not very reserved, so you put a 1 there. Well, when you get to the scoring sheet for number 6, there is an R in front of it. So if you put a 1, that means you reverse the 1 into a 5. So 4s become 2s, 2s become 4s, 5s become 1s, 1s becomes 5s, and 3s stay the same because reversing the 3 is just a 3. So repeating that one more time just to be clear. If there is no R, you're just going to take the number that you rated yourself over here and you're going to place it where it is. If there is an R, whatever number you put here, you're going to switch it. If it's a 1, it becomes a 5. If it's a 2, it becomes a 4. If it's a 3, it stays a 3. Once you get all of these scored in each of these slots, you're going to add up the total. Okay, so you can put the total in there. Then you're going to divide the total score by however many questions there were, and that's going to give you an average. And the average should be somewhere between 1 and 5, right? And then down below, each of these sections, extroversion, it breaks down into 2 separate subcategories of assertiveness and enthusiasm. You're just going to copy those numbers back down here, and then you might see that you're more enthusiastic than assertive, right? And then we're going to learn how we can use this information next week in class. And so you're going to do the same for all of these, right? So compassion breaks down, so fill those in. Remember to reverse your score as well. So again, the R's mean that you're going to reverse a 1 becomes a 5, a 4 becomes a 2, etc. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. I will see you in the next video.